So it looks like most of the world has moved up to artillery, which is really easy for an AI to take cities because, as we know, artillery can fire from 3 tiles away, which means that they can just be right outside of the range of the bombardment of cities, or even some very smaller like crossbowmen or Gatling guns stationed within the city.
And we're still continuing to go through this transition. I know that not everyone has artillery, but we're starting to kind of revolutionize the way, I guess the world is starting to revolutionize the way they take cities in war, if that's how you want to describe artillery, because I'm starting to notice more and more of those units pop up, and it's a big deal. It's a very big deal, because when wars get declared, it's a lot easier, way easier to take cities. So anyways, let's get moving here, and let's go ahead and make sure that nothing happens. Yep, nothing has happened. What's going on with India? India, it looks like they're mobilizing in a different direction. So I never even like realized. Now Siam is also a powerhouse here. They're very small, they're very tall, and they've caught up to the Netherlands the last time we checked. And that was several videos ago, and I have no idea where they're at now. And again, I'm trying to avoid looking at score and info addicts so that everyone has that hope that their empire could win. That's something that I really, really loved about this campaign over others, because other campaigns, nations were dropping left and right. So I know for a lot of people, they had to switch their choice, and, I understand that kind of sucks. I get that. But now there are still those people, and I love the people that still have hope for their nations, even if they might not be doing that well. That really excites me the most. Again, like my number one goal for these campaigns is I'm not rooting for any specific civ. I just want everyone to be happy and have a close game. I want to have a close game every single time. That's all I want to have. I don't want someone to be just this breakout nation and totally win, and it's kind of a landslide victory. I always like to see people in the comment section voting for. I mean, there's still people rooting for America, and America's not even alive, and that is awesome, because it's like, man, that's dedication right there. That's the biggest dedication ever. I mean, hey, it is possible for them to come back alive. I mean, let's just throw out the possibility that Genghis Khan could take Atlanta and liberate the Americans. That is probably a 1 to 100 shot there, probably impossible, but I'm just saying, because I don't think the AI ever really liberates nations, unless it's like a tall nation. Mongolia would probably never do that. Maybe Siam or someone small like William, but it's possible. I'm just throwing that out there. But yeah, no, I think that's something that's really exciting. So that's why I'm kind of avoiding looking at the info addicts for now, because again, I want everyone to think that they have a chance, because I think everyone does have a chance. We have no idea what's going to happen within the next 100 turns, 100 plus turns. So what I was saying is that it looks like India is mobilizing north of Mumbai. They might be going after Mongolia, who has most of their army over towards Paul. Actually, you know what? Look how low the Mongolian army is. They have very little troops here. And most of them are attacking Polynesia all the way in the easternmost part of Siberia. We might see India declaring war in Mongolia. The problem is that someone needs to protect Delhi, and maybe if they can pull Assyria down to protect them against Persia, that would be a big, big deal. What does my spy say? Let's see what we got. Huns are plotting against Napoleon. That seems about right. It looks like that might be the case. Now, Mongolia still controls a huge air force, arguably one of the biggest in the game. I mean, they have at least five planes, 7 planes. That's pretty massive. I know that the Shoshone have a few too, or maybe they don't. I don't see much from the Shoshone. Oh, it's all down this way. Yeah, Mongolia actually might have the biggest air force in the world at 7 planes currently. I see 3. I'm seeing 3. I'm sure there's some European nations that have a few. Remember, England is still at war with the Celts. They're still trying really, really hard to go after Dublin, but yeah, I mean, England is, I don't know. I mean, all it takes is one city, though. I will say all it takes is one city for an AI to come back like that. I mean, look at Germany. Germany was kind of like falling behind, and then boom, they took Vienna, and then boom, they took Antium from Rome. So, although Rome might be trying to build up an offensive, oh, you know what? That's nice. Germany gave Rome open borders. So they must have some okay relationships, because they didn't need to do that at all. They probably did that so that they both are in agreement that the German army can reinforce Antium, whereas Rome can reinforce their city just south of Antium. So that's probably where they came to their agreement, which is smart. Okay, so Assyria. Oh, I didn't even realize this. I'm dumb. I didn't realize that Assyria was also at war with India. I was wondering why they gave up wars. Well, I'm totally dumb. I forgot about that. So many of these wars that are going on, it just totally crossed my mind. I mean, those first 4 or 5 turns of initial war, those are like the big turns where like you're about to see something happen. Everything after that, it's like the AI just kind of stops. And I get that. It's all about that surprise attack, I guess. Also, the Iroquois have left Gandhi off the hook, so I'm assuming that maybe Gandhi will now go after Mongolia. That's what it looks like. At first, I was predicting that maybe they'd go after Siam. Siam still has a pretty big navy, pretty big army. Also, with the Siamese infantry, they're ahead of the game. India is still using Great War infantry. Persia at riflemen now looks not as strong as they did before. Same thing for... Actually, no, Persia is still with riflemen. Assyria moved on to Great War infantry. Dang, Babylon, I didn't even realize. Now that I'm looking at it, now that I see that India is at infantry, look at friggin' Babylon. What are you doing, Babylon? You gotta get moving, man. Egypt is doing surprisingly well, too. With all these artillery units, they could be planning their own offensive. Again, like I said in the intro, I mean, we're starting to see more and more of these artillery units, and it's really going to change war completely. Germany mobilizing 3 of their planes down south for Antietam. Looks like the Huns have brought over more units, but without some sort of ranged attack from Barcelona, I guess in the Mediterranean, they're not going to be able to do that much damage to Madrid. Until, of course, people get battleships. That'll be a big deal. I think when people get battleships, specifically Attila, oh, he's going to go crazy. He's going to go nuts for things like Madrid and Rome. I think it's definitely possible for us to see these 2 cities fall at some points. Sweden is still at war with France, so I think France is pretty preoccupied. I don't think they're going to really play a role in anything here. Looks like the Huns might be going after maybe France. I mean, someone needs to take Orleans. It's been so long. Looks like the Huns might be, actually. That might be the case. What's going on with Korea? We haven't checked on you for a while. I figured you were really behind in... technology with your turtle ships still. I get that. Indonesia as well. They're doing good. I mean, they're a small, tall, focused empire, just like Siam. So I can't knock them too bad for not going after Australia because they've got lots of population. Jakarta has got 24 citizens within those cities. So that's pretty damn good. I mean, almost as much as Siam in their capital. So they're doing a good job. And again, I think our prediction has come true that Japan's not really doing much in their wars. They're at war with China and... Polynesia actually might be a little bit more. Oh my gosh, they're not going to be able to take the city over again. Mongolia is losing more and more of an army. Could we see China jump in? And they might be. Could we see Siam jump in? Could we see a massive coalition with India, Siam, and China all declare war in Mongolia? Now that would be insane. I would never have guessed that. That's probably out there, but I think it's possible because Mongolia has lost a lot of their army. So that's pretty insane. We also have Brazil and the Shoshone still at war, but nothing happening with these wars. Nothing really happening with these wars here. Anything going on? Nope, don't see anything. Okay. So nothing really happening, even though, oh my gosh, Shoshone have their battleship up. It is battleship time. I have been seeing a few small submarines kind of... I guess floating along the seas of the Pacific and the Atlantic. I don't know what they're trying to do here. Lots of possibilities for an attack. I just don't know where these nations are going to go. It looks like England has given up on their attack of Dublin, unfortunately. Don't even know what to say about that. Are the Huns still at war with the Celts? They might be. Maybe that's where they're trying to send their army to. Maybe they're just going after Dublin. I know people want Iceland. It's a very crucial city. To a lot of, I mean, Iceland is good. It would be it's strategical and it's in a good spot. If you have a good navy, like the Huns do, in fact, which I think it's only going to get better as they continue to pump out ships from Barcelona. But yeah, I could see something like that. Poor Greece. Greece never really got enough to get off the ground. But I mean, they've got units though. They're definitely protecting themselves. In terms of the Byzantium navy, they've got. They have a lot of melee boats, and that's actually not good. If they had more, they started their navies off with a lot of range units, and those range units, when AIs have capabilities of range units, oh my gosh, they're so much more powerful. Because it's a lot easier to attack range than melee. You're taking hits back every single time, so it's kind of harder to plan for that sort of thing, at least strategy-wise in wars. I don't think the AI does as good of a job when melee hitting. They do a great job when having to range attack here. On the other hand, man, Germany, you better fix your pillage tiles here, man. So, well, I guess Poland should too. Now Poland is also at great war infantry. They're not at the head of the pack by anything. I'm so surprised that India. I think India might be the only person I've seen with infantry so far, with modern infantry, or maybe the Shoshone do as well. I don't see anything. No, yeah, wow. India's got I guess they must have rushed for rifling or whatever that might have been. So what do we have? William is secretly plotting against Alexander. Okay, and the Huns plotting against Siam. They're just plotting against everybody, aren't they? You're just seriously plotting against everybody. Still cannot believe we haven't had a Manhattan Project built yet. That's insane to me. That's really, really shocking. Was not expecting that. So what I think about the in the last video we talked about kind of stagnating big empires, and that was something that I didn't really account for playing on Prince difficulty, but it's something that I really liked because these nations weren't able to snowball. I think that's something that I haven't really enjoyed too much in previous campaigns on Deity because, you know, as soon as those civs, so like the way Deity works is like you can kind of tell who's going to be super dominant in the very beginning of the campaign because it's just the civ that decides to spam as many cities as fast as they can because they can keep up on Deity with these under the surface bonuses to keep their empires rolling when I guess a human player playing with no bonuses like that wouldn't be able to do that sort of thing. So stagnating empires is certainly a real result of a Prince difficulty, which I do really enjoy. So I wasn't accounting for someone like the Zulu to just stop going to war. They were moving. If we were playing on Deity, they probably would have controlled all of Africa by now, as we've seen in other campaigns. Same thing with the Shoshone. They probably would have declared war on the Iroquois really fast, or because remember, there's that point where the Iroquois didn't have much of an army. But then all of a sudden, boom, I checked on them like a video later, and they had just a massive army ready to protect their cities. I think on Deity, that would have been a completely different sort of events because they would have declared war right away, or the massive amount of production that Deity AIs get in their cities, they would have, and the economy as well, the economic boosts to be able to hold these massive armies. The Iroquois would have never been able to stand up to that sort of thing. So I think it's provided a lot of nations to one, stay alive, and two, these great nations like the Shoshone and specifically we're seeing Mongolia, they can possibly fall. Again, Mongolia doesn't have much of an army. They've got an awesome navy, but, you know, I mean, what are they going to do to attack Japan? And the cool thing is that, I mean, actually, not the cool thing, but the interesting thing about the Japanese cities is that they're all on the eastern side of the Japanese mainland, except for Osaka. Obviously, they could attack Osaka right away, but this is where most of their navy is protecting Osaka. So they'd have to kind of maneuver around the Japanese mainland to attack Tokyo, Kyoto, and I'm not sure how to pronounce this one. So anyways, yeah, I mean, but anyways, yeah, like I said, I mean, Mongolia could totally fall with an I guess a war from Gandhi, who has their own infantry units. Where do they go? I thought I saw infantry. I saw one. Maybe. Well, I see one from Siam. I thought I saw one from Gandhi, but maybe I'm just dumb. It could be crack. I don't know. Sometimes the crap. Okay, whatever. Berlin has uncovered that. The Huns are playing against. No, I'm sorry. Germany is playing against the Huns. I would not do that. That would be interesting. Now imagine. I know this is not happening. I know this is not happening because this is not a capability of the AI. But could you imagine if, in like some sort of alternative scenario, if you really want to dig in here, that William is trying to possibly make these two biggest enemies of their empire go to war? Maybe there's some spy stuff going on. Maybe they're altering data or what's that word called? Sabotaging the empire to think that, you know, they don't like each other. Now that's kind of out there. That's like including, it's kind of the lore, but that's a great way for William to stay alive. If Germany and the Huns can go to war, well, first of all, Germany I think is going to lose that war. I believe, although they'd lose Munich, I think for sure, possibly, but maybe not, because all the Huns have are Gatling guns. That would not be enough. You need to get up at least one melee troop, and you do have some melee troops, but a lot of them I think are going for some sort of sneak attack on somebody. Are you going to attack the Zulu? Now that would be crazy. The Huns and the Zulu here, because maybe they want Ireland. Maybe Ireland is just that city to have. Looks like England's starting to rebuild their army somewhat here. How's Porto doing? Porto's still alive. Got to give it to him there. Zulu might be trying for another attack, maybe on Porto. Surprised Porto stayed alive for so long. I'd like to see someone from the Americas go after the old world. Someone from Africa or Porto or Dublin. Now, that would be interesting. I would really like to see something like that. But I think they're too preoccupied with kind of killing each other to ever think about that sort of thing. I think they're way too preoccupied with just kind of destroying each other. Forgot about Siam. Man, I always forget about this city in the middle here. As well as Nancy. That's a lovely name. It's so beautiful, Attila. That's Attila's like getaway spot. Where his name becomes Nancy. Like everyone in this city refers to Attila as Nancy, and he dresses up, and it's okay there, and that's cool, because maybe he gets discriminated back in his home. That's awesome that he has that like place to go to. Anyways, talking about some weird stuff in this one, but this game is. You can think of so many different storylines. When I read those comments of your guys' lore, it just it really gets me involved in that sort of activity where I want to be a part of that too. You know what I mean? I love it. That's the best part of this. Ooh, did you see that erotic just pop up? I'm also seeing a few German great artists, or one at least. We also have oh my gosh, what's going on, Germany? Oh, you still have three planes. You're probably just kind of floating them back and forth here. That's at least what it looks like. Floating back and forth, protecting Antium, protecting Vienna, going back and forth there. You actually managed to get at least one great war infantry here. You know, who knows? Maybe Germany's going to go after Rome. They could. They don't have a navy though. But and Antium has remained a puppet, and I don't know if Bismarck is going to annex them. So has Vienna though. So that is important. So these cities won't be able to pump out more units for them. Although, of course, it's going to provide extra, science, culture, all that stuff, faith, all that sort of possibilities. So it's still providing a pretty good amount to their empire. But they only have 3 cities that they have annexed. Well, I guess they didn't annex because they settled these cities: Munich, Berlin, and Hamburg. What do we got? Again, the Huns are in Ireland right now. So, wait, you know what? They're probably not going after Ireland. They are reinforcing their attack of Madrid. And you know what? How many artillery units are they bringing? They're bringing 3. Ooh, now that would be enough. And they have more melee units coming. Yes, I bet you they're reinforcing in Iberia. Oh, Spain better get ready. Spain needs to get ready, especially with a cannon unit stationed inside of Madrid. That's not enough, because cannon units cannot attack over hills. Poland has peaced out with Inca, so have Poland and India. Yes, Well, I mean, this great war infantry is probably going to get killed at some point. Madrid will kill it. But again, I don't believe that cannon unit can attack over hills. So you can't really... And artillery can attack over whatever the heck they want. That's another big feature, is that not only can they attack 3 units away, 3 tiles away, but they can attack over mountains, hills, rivers, everything. Except for, of course, Florence. So there's a lot of peace deals going on. That's kind of fascinating. Oh, that's what I wanted to check on. I want to check on how... so close to falling. But I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm wondering how much I'm sure their Air Force is really helping out Genghis Khan's offensive move here to take the Polynesian cities from Asia. I imagine that more than likely Mongolia someone needs to declare war on Nottingham. I'm so surprised the city has remained. Remember, France's colony dropped fast. Iroquois dropped that really quick. And I think that was the only one. Ooh, look at this. Look at these battleships that the Inca are building. Oh, dang. See, that artillery and battleships are big deals, to me at least, because AIs are much better at war when they have capabilities of these units. I think there's got to be both forces from the Shoshone in the north and the Inca in the south building up to eliminate the Mayans. I know that they want the city because this city holds so much importance. To be able to travel from the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic Ocean in way less time than moving all the way down from South America is so damn crucial. I'm so shocked that none of the AIs have taken the city earlier. Now, I understand that more than likely the AI doesn't get that fact. Babylon, Morocco. Oh, okay, so Morocco declared war on Porto. They might be going after that city. Morocco also peaced out with Japan and Indonesia here. Oh man, yeah, no, I mean, I know that the AI doesn't understand the fact that this holds the Panama Canal pretty much, and they can move through, out this. But I know that the AI realizes how weak the Mayans are, so I'm sure they want to try to take that for themselves. I think it's a race between the Inca and the Shoshone. Who's going to take this final remaining Mayan city first? So, anyways, we had a war pop up between Babylon and Porto. Babylon being a supporter of Morocco in the war against the Portuguese. So we'll see what happens. I don't think anything will happen because, well, Morocco has no navy. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.